Hi guys, following the chaos in the House of Commons on Wednesday, the winners were supposed to be the Palestinian people because the idea being a vote in Parliament for a ceasefire would pressure the UK government to use whatever influence they have to achieve that. However, there were no winners. The two main issues that did arise could have serious consequences. One was a rumour that was reported by a number of journalists that Keir Starmer threatened the Speaker with having him removed post-election, and the second was how the Tories had picked up the ball and went home, meaning none of the votes went ahead. When it came to calls for the Speaker to resign, it seems the Tories were engaging in a bit of theatre, where to the media they were calling for his head, but in private they didn't really have a problem with Sir Lindsay. Here Health Minister Marie Caulfield sort of reinforced that point.
I think it's crucial the Speaker of the House is impartial, particularly if it seemed to be that they're siding with their own natural political party. And I think the fact that Labour, the rumours are that Labour were going to lose quite heavily and they tried to influence the Speaker with that, he needs to come clean about what discussions were heard.
Well, we'll put that to Labour, but I mean, when you say it's a difficult position, would you support him going forward?
Look, I voted for Lindsay to become Speaker of the House of Commons. It has dented my confidence in Lindsay. He's generally fairly fair. He's very good at making sure backbenchers get in. Sometimes that's difficult as a minister to take. But he's normally a very fair speaker, and his actions yesterday were very, very different to how he normally conducts matters in the House, and particularly against the advice of the Clerk of the House of Commons. So let's see what he has to say. But he came out and apologised last night.
Enough?
I don't know. We need to be absolutely sure that the votes weren't influenced last night in any way. To be able to, for the SNP not to be able to have a vote on their own motion, as difficult a vote as that was, it has got implications going forward if we can't be sure that the House of Commons can be run fairly.
Sounds like you want him to step down.
Well, I have got concerns, I'll be honest, but it's not a government matter. It is what's called a House matter. It is for individual MPs as members of the House of Commons to decide. It wouldn't be an issue that a party would whip against.
I was asking about you personally.
Yeah, no, I have said I did vote for him. I am disappointed in his actions. There's no doubt about it last night. Disappointed and surprised as well, because that is not normally how Lindsay would behave.
Yeah, but that's sort of slightly just teetering on the edge as opposed to saying,
yeah.
If you were chatting to him, would you say, mate, come on?
I would say that I would struggle now to support him, but let's see what happens in the next 24, 48 hours. He knows he did wrong, he's apologised, and let's see what he proposes to fix the situation.
OK.
Oh my goodness, you see the Tories here trying to make hay of the situation, trying to take advantage of what's happened. They took their ball and they went home, and then nothing could proceed. A number of MPs, Conservative MPs, have spoken privately to journalists. They haven't named any names, of course, and they have said that, look, we didn't have a problem with what happened. We didn't have a problem with Sir Lindsay Hoyle. But it was a bit of theatre. It was an attempt to show that we are members of Parliament of principle, when in reality they're just charlatans and opportunists. And it doesn't surprise me. We've seen it before. Now, why would the Tories not get rid of Sir Lindsay Hoyle? Well, they may eventually do that, but that would be for political gain. But the reason they haven't really been having a problem with him is because he's on their side. On how many occasions has Boris Johnson lied to Parliament and Sir Lindsay Hoyle has done sweet FA about it? Now, it's important to remember that the Speaker is limited in what he can do. But he has never called Boris Johnson to correct the record, or even suggested that he had to correct the record. He's extremely upset about things that maybe some people see as trivial, about attire, the way people dress, or the way people sit in Parliament. He seems to be more concerned about that than the actual functioning of Parliament. He's extremely upset when MPs, government ministers, deliver statements to the media before Parliament, which is correct, but he doesn't do anything about it. He rants and raves about it, but at the end of the day, there's no punishment for the minister, and he does have things in his toolkit that he can use. He can start issuing more questions against ministers. He can allow for a number of things to happen. Now, once again, he is limited, but I think the reason that the Tories are not calling for his head really is because he's on their side. He hasn't really done anything that has damaged the Conservative Party. He hasn't put ministers in a fix. And he's no bear cow. So on the surface, it seems that the Conservatives are concerned about Keir Starmer potentially influencing him not following procedure. But the Tories don't follow procedure either. So this is all a bit of theatre, in my opinion. I could be wrong. They could actually be truly concerned about Parliament and perhaps call for him to be replaced. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.